So today was the first day of, first round of press conferences going on for the Fatal Fury card that's going on in Times Square, obviously hosted by Turkey Al Sheik, and it features Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia all fighting their respective opponents. Now, Arnold Barboza and Teofimo are fighting each other. That's a respectable fight. Devin Haney and why did I forget his fucking name, bro? Jose Ramirez are fighting each other. That's a respectable fight. And then the two clowns, Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, are fighting each other. And I mean, that makes sense for them. Those antics are gonna bring a lot of eyes to the fight. So I mean, I see the point of the card, right? First of all, after all of the hate and the criticism that was going on during the lawsuit, media members entertaining and enabling, a lot of crazy things from people who were speaking down up on Devin Haney the whole time when he was just trying to get everything together after being cheated in his last fight against Ryan Garcia. They have to now ask him questions and pretend as if, they weren't, he probably didn't see. They have to pretend as if he didn't see none of that, or as if they weren't hosting a space for any of that. They weren't questioning any of that. And it seemed as though the whole time, I mean, bro, there are people who literally made pages dedicated to disrespecting Devin Haney. A lot of people do not like Devin Haney because he has a father, and it has nothing to do with his boxing ability. Simple as that. Same reason why they didn't like Lonzo Ball or LeVar Ball is the same reason why they don't like Devin Bill Haney, bro. That shit has nothing to do with the sport, with boxing. It doesn't. You know what I mean? But in recent times, you got the Tank situation with Lamar Roach. His cherry pick gone wrong. He might actually end up with an L on his record. And now, right after that, days after that, here's the press conference with Devin Haney and Teofimo and Ryan Garcia, right? And it's funny that all of these guys are on the same card because now they all have to sit in the same room and act as if those internet antics didn't go down. And obviously, things will be addressed, but we'll see. Teofimo already proved to be a buster because he got walked down on by Bud Crawford for being on the internet playing too much. But I've seen some clips Ryan saying what he wants to say, but I wanted to hear from Devin for quite some time as far as just like his thoughts on things outside of just like little interviews, but like with his next opponent, his thoughts on things, how he's feeling. You know what I mean? I'm sure we've all been curious, but I've been curious too, bro. And the thing is this. And I'm a end this intro with this. Stay on the right side of history, bro. Do what's right, because even though everything's telling you to follow what everyone else is doing and to go the easier route, staying on the right side of history will pay dividends in the future. It will. Careful what you say. You never know who's watching. Be careful what you do. You never know who's watching. You never know who's copying you. As simple as that. So let's react to this, man.
Be as chatty as we just saw with Teo and Arnold, but I can tell you from knowing both young men for a very long time, these guys are consummate professionals. These are young men who are about the sport of boxing, who are about dedication, who are about hard work. This is a fascinating matchup. Devin, I'm going to start with you because we haven't seen you since your fight with Ryan Garcia early last year. I just want to ask you why the decision to lay out for the rest of 2024, and why did you choose Jose Ramirez as?
Oh, what do you mean why? See what I'm saying? When people just act like this, they act like history ain't history, and they try to just make it seem like, he was pushing the whole lawsuit for like that whole time. You know what I'm saying? He was pushing the lawsuit that whole time. He was trying to get justice for what had went down. What you mean why? You know what I mean? I don't like when people act super ignorant and act like, that's to me, that's not a good question, bro. I don't care what nobody say, because you should be pushing a line and asking real questions like, how do you feel after dealing with fighting somebody who's on PEDs, dealing with the public backlash for so long? You probably have a chip on your shoulder. How are you taking these things? How are you still able to take it in stride, come back to the sport? You know what I mean? How is your headspace? Don't be asking no shit like why did you disappear for a year? What do you mean? Did you not see the internet? Matter of fact, most of these media pages were hosting a majority of the memes and jokes. So what do you mean why? I don't like that.
Comeback opponent.
I like that question, bro.
First off, I want to thank Allah, alhamdulillah, for this opportunity. Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims all around the world. And no, I took the year off because, like I said, I was going to. I wanted to spend some time with my family. I just had a baby, stuff like that. So I wanted to rest and recover, and I wanted to come back when I felt it was the right time. And but when I came back, I wanted to fight the best fighters in the world. I didn't want to just face any regular Joe Blow. I wanted to fight a two-time world champion like Jose Ramirez, and that's why we picked him.
And now, before you ask the next question, this is why Devin Haney's already a Hall of Fame talent, but also this is why Devin Haney is one of my favorite fighters in the game, because his level of opposition, he always chooses the best available. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting pretty much exclusively world champions, former world champions, Olympians, multiple weight division world champions, and he's giving them a platform that a lot of the times as a world champion you don't get. You know what I'm saying? You could be popping as a world champion, but you never get the opportunity because you'll be a difficult fight or whatever. So people just go and they fight clowns. The level of skill that he has and his boxing ability and stuff like that could be debated all day. But the level of opposition and his resume that he beat, whether he made it look easy or if it was a close fight, to me that's undebatable. That's why he's already, as young as he is, he's already a Hall of Famer, a undisputed champion, multiple weight classes, one of the youngest champions of all time, and pretty much never had a tune-up fight. Even coming off of the fight against Ryan Garcia, he's coming to fight a dangerous two-time world champion, Jose Ramirez, and it's all gas, no brakes still. You know what I mean? I think he's going, and this fight is at 147, if I'm not mistaken. So he's jumping up another weight class to make that happen. To me, that's commendable, bro. I don't understand the hate.
Folks who say, Devin, that you were exposed, even though you can argue, well, it wasn't an even playing field in that first fight with Ryan Garcia. They could say, well, we never seen Devin Haney hurt like that. We never seen him down on the canvas.
That's who he's looking at. Bro, for somebody that has a lot to say all the time, it's crazy that he's looking so, like, that's a look of, like, I can't even say well, people will get on the internet and say anything. People will say anything when you're not in the room, but when you're in the room and they gotta face you, sometimes it's hard for them to do that when they're embarrassed and they feel guilty and they feel ashamed of what they did, bro. Now I understand, it's in sports, it's PEDs, bro. People be like, oh, it's just sports. Well, boxing is a unique sport because you could kill somebody in the sport. Now, if you take PEDs, it makes it more of a possibility, bro. And I actually know a few people personally that took the same PEDs Ryan Garcia took for bodybuilding purposes and stuff like that. So it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a face of no remorse. Maybe there's nothing behind his eyes. You just never know. But to me, in my experience dealing with people, bro, when people look like that, where you looking at them, you looking to see what their reaction is to something somebody's saying, because you know that they know what's up and you know what's up, but y'all just ain't really hashed it out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know what's, like, there's an elephant in the room. People start looking a little nervous, trying to act like extra stale face and blank. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody say, bro. That's the energy I get from that.
Lost in there at times. Do you feel that there are questions that are being asked of you, and that Jose Ramirez is going to ask those questions, and you can answer them in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I fought somebody on PEDs, so that's how that fight was. But we move forward, and now the world wants to see what Devin Haney's going to show up, and I'll look to give everybody all those answers on May 2nd.
All right, Jose. Last time we saw you, you didn't look like yourself. It definitely wasn't your night, and I know there was some talk in and around the boxing community that, you know what, this guy was a 2012 Olympian. He was a unified champion. He's a hero in his community. He's got a lot of things.
So I always wondered how Oscar could be a promoter. And this is just a side note because I see he's sitting right next to dude. But I always wonder how Oscar could be a promoter. But every chance he gets, shits on the people he's supposed to be promoting and that he's financially responsible for. Whether it was the Kid Austin fight and him telling everybody that he wasn't ready, or there's the Ryan situation and him telling him that he's going broke and he's scrambling for money and the lawsuit is this and that. But then at the same breath, turn his back on the, you know, I just never understood how sometimes, like, some people could just be so two-faced and out of pocket and janky, because Oscar De La Hoya does those clapback Fridays and talks hella shit about the same people he's supposed to be promoting, but then you see him on stage acting like nothing happened. Like, to me, this shit blows my mind. I don't know how niggas do this. I don't know.
Things going on outside of boxing. He could run for public office in this area. You know, people are saying maybe you hang up the gloves. Can I ask you, were you considering that, and what brings you here to this point right now?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for blessing me with all those great blessings in my career. Since I started at the age of 8 years old, becoming an Olympian and a unified world champion, becoming a world champion at 25 years old, a unified world champion at 27 years old, and you know, I think what it was is probably staying at 140 for too long. You know, once I saw myself, you know, struggling to make weight and, you know, push my body through that pain and grind, I think I was harming myself. You know, but I'm a guy with no excuses, man. I'm a guy who never says no, and I think I did that to myself. But hey, that was a mistake that I did on my part, and it's time for me to grow and move up to the next weight class at 147. So, you know, I know what I could do. You know, what I've been doing in sparring against guys who are world champions as we speak, guys who are, you know, talked upon as future world champions, and I know what I've done to them in sparring. So I know what I'm capable. And comes May 2nd, you know, I'm gonna go out there and you know, make it a fight, man.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever people say things like this, I'm gonna make it a fight. I know what I'm capable of. He's nervous. He don't believe in himself. I'm not gonna lie. I really reacted to this because I just wanted to see what Devin Haney was gonna say after some time off. You know what I mean? Jose Ramirez is a hell of a fighter, but I really don't see him doing anything with Devin Haney. I don't think he does either. That's why he was chosen in the first place. But you know, this is gonna be an interesting situation because after this fight, you know, the rematch is coming with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, and assuming all things go well, we'll see what's up with Tio, who he fights next afterwards. Because I know that Jaron Ennis is about to fight on his own. He about to unify, and then I think Tio might even be in talks to fight Jaron Ennis. So we'll see what's up with that. But it seems like Devin Haney hasn't really changed given what's going on. You know what I mean? People, they say a lot. People, they say they're gonna do a lot, but it's been an overall, I haven't seen anything that we should necessarily be worried about. So welcome back to the sport, Devin Haney. You've been gone for some time, and in the midst of his absence, everybody that was speaking down on him had a poor performance, got dropped, got knocked out, lost a fight. So you know, it's been kind of a crazy thing. It's like the Lil B curse, for real. It's like literally like the Lil B curse. With that being said, leave your thoughts on his comeback. Leave your thoughts on his fight against Jose Ramirez. And, you know, we'll see what comes next to this. But as of right now, what I'm getting from this is the confidence hasn't wavered. The energy is the same. But it seems like the chip on his shoulder has grown. And he really does have a good poker face. He doesn't really show too much of what's going on. And that's good. You know what I mean? But we'll see how it all plays out in the fight. Can't wait for the weigh-ins and more press conferences. We'll see if anything heats up. We'll see. With that being said, I'm going.